the Social Security Administration is pushing back on claims made by Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren that it removed key data from its website. Warren is claiming, quote, Donald Trump's Social Security Administration has removed over 45 critical metrics from the agency's website, breaking promises to prioritize transparency and making it harder for Americans to access Social Security benefits and services. Commissioner of the agency, Frank Bisignano, hitting back, writing, quote, SSA currently reports nearly 3 times the number of data elements on the performance web page under the Trump administration than it did under the Biden administration. These facts conclusively demonstrate that you are wrong in alleging a lack of transparency. Joining me now is the man himself, U.S. Social Security Administration Commissioner Frank Bisignano. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here.
So what is you say this is fear-mongering?
Yeah, I mean, we have done an outstanding job. I brought to the senator's office a 3-level down from me manager, fabulous career executive, Tiffany Countess, who walked her through everything going on in the agency, actually dialed the phone while we're in the office to show her how well the phones were performing. And then she couldn't understand it and asked for an audit from the IG, and I said, let's do it. We have more data out there. The performance is not great yet, but it's great compared to what the last administration had. And the information's on the website right now that anybody can come look at. And, you know, 81% of our indicators are better than the last administration, and the rest are fundamentally the same. And on top of that, we're reporting really 3x the amount of data that was reported before. And
you've been prioritizing digitizing things, right? I know on September 30th, Social Security payments and benefits will go digital. The agency phasing out paper checks. President Trump signing an executive order back in March aimed at preventing fraud and reducing spending. The Labor Department estimating that this move will save government millions per year. The agency says recipients may need to change their payment records, and paper checks are possible if there's no other option for people. Tell me about this. Digital Social Security cards rolling out this summer. Is that meant to simplify access, boost data protection, reduce paper card replacements? What can we expect?
Well, a couple things. We serve 72 million beneficiaries with payments every month equaling 1.5 trillion a year, but only 600,000 of those are not electronic. So we're really dealing with the tail of less than 1%, and we can see all the people who actually put their check in a bank account. And so we're talking to them, converting them. Obviously, if a person couldn't. But more importantly, when you think about Social Security, we're serving more than 330 million Americans. And half the people who call us or come to our field office or transact with us are not in that 72 million. Right? Everybody needs a Social Security card through their life, and their number is the #1 identifier. So we have to protect it. We're digitizing. It's much more secure, and just creating a better experience like people have in their life.
So what do people need to do if they're holding a Social Security card right now?
Well, I think they just need to hold it, but they also should open up what we call a My Social Security account. We have 97 million Americans. We have a bold goal of 200 million Americans with a Social Security account, and then they could deal with us electronically. We will always have field offices. We get 700,000 phone calls a day. We will answer them as we do. We do 1.5 trillion transactions on the web a day, though, and only 130,000 visitors to our field office.
Okay, so there's a lot of room there in terms of where this is going. Now, Social Security's annual cost of living adjustments, or the COLA benefits, set to hit their highest level since 1985 based on inflation, making goods and services more expensive. The Senior Citizens League estimating that the 2026 COLA payments will be 2.7%. The percentage will be determined on October 15th. Give us the relevance of this. One economic body is warning that Social Security is only 8 years from insolvency. You know that, Frank. It's according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, saying that Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund will go insolvent by 2033, saying that that would cause retirees to face an automatic cut of 23% to their benefits. I know this is all part of your cost cutting and going digital, but what do we need to understand? And do you expect insolvency by 2033?
Well, first, the answer to that will be no. The president's made a deep commitment to protect and preserve And what we've been doing here in getting the agency to operate right is part one of Protect and Preserve. As you said, October 15th, we announced the COLA increase. We wait for BLS to give us the data on CPI. We put it in and we'll come out. There's estimates out for it now, and it's obviously always within that range. But I think also a very important item to realize, that's an increase for seniors. It's an increase for everyone on Social Security. But the big, beautiful bill gave a fabulous increase for the large majority of seniors on Social Security with the $6,000 tax deduction for them. So not only are they getting a COLA increase coming, they're also getting the benefit. That benefit is not yet in the calculus. That benefit and all the big, beautiful bill will stimulate spending, right? And our actuarial forecasts don't have that in there yet.
Yeah.
That will be additive and beneficial. But more importantly, this is an issue that we will work very closely on with the White House, with Congress, to ensure we protect and preserve forever.
I'm glad you mentioned the actuary numbers, because I wonder, you get Social Security benefits when you turn 65, is that right?
Yeah.
65. So
yeah, people make choices on when they want them.
Okay.
And it could be earlier, could be all the way out to 70.
So I'm wondering, I mean, wouldn't changing the retirement age from 65 to 67, or when you actually are eligible to start getting them, wouldn't that save a lot of money and help you?
Yeah, there's a whole host of items out there that can be hugely beneficial to get to the answer. One that you're stating. And there's other people who think, 175K is the cap now. When you and I started working, I know we're of the same age, it was in 40K. So that number will continue to increase also, of where the max is, and that's another thing that people put in the equation to think about. I think it's really about solving it. 8 years is a long time away. We're, less than 200 plus days in this administration, and we need Congress to partner with us. And I think, I was with Ron Estes in Kansas at a field office, and we had a great time watching how people work so hard, but we also talked about the plan. The plan was get this to be a great service provider for the American public, and then with the Ways and Means and with Senate come together with a plan.
So would you consider raising the retirement age?
I think everything's being considered. And will be considered.
And then you need Congress to.
Yes. Yeah, they have to. It needs really to be the trustees, which are the four of us, myself, Treasury Secretary, Labor Secretary, HHS. The White House, which is completely committed to protect and preserve, and then Congress, and that's where the real work will happen, and that'll take a while. But we have plenty of time.
Are you considering the fact that, like, if you're just reaching 60, 66, 67, whatever, then they're not included, but you're beginning with a much younger age group who are not expecting to retire at 65?
Yeah, I mean, remember, most people told you and I Social Security wasn't going to be around.
That's true, yeah.
And it's going to be around. And so the generations that are coming in will probably have a different set of rules than we had.
Yeah, these are tough issues, I know. Frank, it's great to talk with you about it. Thank you so much.
Pleasure and honor.
All right,
good to see
Frank
you.
Bisignano.